What's happening, family? It's Cass Sports again, back for another afternoon with my people. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. Just Boxing Talk. We're a group of people that just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast channel or anything like that. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. J Hardcore from Hardcore Boxing News is here. Let's go. Thomas Hill in the building early today. What's up, T Hill? Welcome to another afternoon of Cass Sports Boxing Talk. And this is the Friday afternoon edition. Weekend straight ahead. Got a nice boxing card tomorrow. I'm going to talk about that briefly in a few minutes. NFL football. Let me correct myself. NFL playoff football this weekend. Super Wild Card weekend. Do they still call it that? But my Ravens don't play until the second round, you know. Did I tell you they are we got the top seed in the AFC? Yeah. So we're already in the second round. Waiting to see who comes out of round one. But big sports weekend coming up. Big sports weekend. Great time to be a sports fan. Boxing, NFL football, great NBA basketball, and the NHL going on. That's a great time to be a sports fan. But today we talking about this sport we love called boxing. Just boxing talk. And whatever else we decide to get off into. But we got the Turbiev card this weekend. Had a little controversy with the drug testing. I don't know what's going on there. What did you say, Jay? Atypical or untypical or whatever typical? The fight's still on. So, I don't know. That's one of the Bob Father's fighters, so you know. But like Eddie said, we need some more transparency on this situation. You know. But the fight's going on, so hey, that better be in there against Callum Smith. And Callum said he planned on Beeve out of there. But Turbiev, excuse me, whatever his name is, you know who I'm talking about. The big Russian guy that knocked everybody out that he's been in there with. Okay, him. Okay. How about I just call him Arthur? How about that? But anyway, Callum said he's going to get old Arthur out of there. He said Arthur gets hit a lot. And Callum said, if I get my hands on him, he's going out of there. I don't believe it, though. I think old Arthur's going to keep his 100% knockout rate intact tomorrow. And there's Al Booger in the building. What's up, Al Booger? We're doing the top 10 American boxers today, Al Booger. This was Al Booger's idea, remember? He came up last Friday, told me why don't I do a top 5 Puerto Ricans all time, and I was saying, why don't I just make it 10 and do a few different nationalities and categories, you know? We did the top 10 European fighters Monday. Tuesday was the top 10 Puerto Ricans. Of course, Wednesday was the women's. Yesterday was the Mexicans, and today is the Americans. Top 10 American boxers of all time. Later on today. Then we're going to look at the history of the Where are we? I think we're at junior featherweight. Junior featherweight, 122, right? Super bantamweight, junior featherweight, 122. Same thing. Yeah, super, junior, same thing. We're gonna look at that division today. You know, I'm doing a history of all the weight classes. Started at heavyweight, working my way on down, and we are at junior featherweight. What's going on, T Hill? Good to see you, bro. What's happening? Al Booger, J Hardcore in the building. Hashtag JBT. Can't leave that off. That's the creator of the JB, hashtag JBT, J Hardcore himself. That's him. Came from Hardcore Boxing News. 8 o'clock a.m. Then he spins the block back at 8 o'clock. But Friday night hangout is now going to be 9 p.m. Okay. Because we always had to cut it short because, the Rise comes on at 9, but they decided to switch things up. The Rise is going to be at 8. Friday night hangout at 9, and we can go all night if we want to. And Jay, I'm going to get my Love Boat story in the night too, so y'all get ready. I don't know if my wife listened to it. She can verify that Love Boat story for me. Because she was laying there right beside me all night, looking at the ceiling. Was we married then? That was, when was that anyway? 80s? Somewhere back there. I just know we had a long night just staring at the ceiling. That Love Boat had us. But y'all will hear about it tonight. But how is everybody today? Friday. We got a big card coming up tomorrow. We got NFL playoff football. Man, it's a great time to be a sports fan, isn't it? Man, loving life right now. Yeah. But everybody's playing for second. The Ravens should be the favorite to win the Super Bowl. And like I said, the only thing that'll stop them will be some kind of bonehead coaching decision, like John Harbaugh is known to do. Y'all hear Bill Belichick's retiring from the Patriots. But he didn't say he was retiring from coaching. And I heard some rumors about Atlanta was interested in him. Yeah. Bill Belichick is no longer the New England Patriots coach. I did see who the new coach, they hired a brother, I believe. I can't remember his name. I was reading that this morning. Yeah. So yeah, Bill Belichick is out of there. What's up, Bruce Gas? Man, Bruce, today is Smoking Joe Frazier's birthday, and Bruce Gas did a nice thing on him today. I told y'all yesterday. It was beautiful, man. If you like these little profiles I do on these former boxers every day, you would have absolutely loved that show Bruce Gas did on Joe Frazier. Ended not too long ago. It was fire, man. And I learned a few things in there. Yeah, it was fire. So if y'all didn't see it, go back and check that out, man. I guarantee you'll like it. Yep, old Smoking Joe would have been 80 years old today. Yep, Smoking Joe Frazier. It was great, man. I was there the whole time. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Might watch it again later on, too. But salute to Bruce Gas. Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. Salute. I'm going to take Kazuki Anaguchi, the boxer that he went unconscious after his fight December 26th on the Naoya Inoue Ball of Japala's card. It's hard to find out information about that situation. I don't get it. But the last I heard was, I think it was around Tuesday, he was still unconscious in the hospital. Anybody heard anything new on him? Yeah, I know they had put him in a medical-induced coma. And the last I heard was earlier in the week, he was still in the hospital unconscious. I don't know why it's so hard to find out information on that situation. Mike Masick in the building. Salute, Mike. Happy Friday, TGIF, all that stuff. You know, because it is Friday, right? And we got the NFL playoffs staring us right in the face. We got the Bear, Archer, Viterbi, Better Be, or something. Oh, I suppose to just call him Archer. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. But he fights tomorrow, him, right? The one that's knocking everybody out. But old Callum said he's going to get him out of there. So that should be interesting. Christian and Billy, rising young 168-pounder on the card. One of the Maloney brothers, I think it's Jason. He's defending his title. I think he has bantamweight, one of those belts that the monster dropped when he went up and challenged Schoolboy. He's on the card, yep. So pretty good card. Then they got a lot of about 4 or 5 prospects fights. I think it's a female fighter on the card. Pretty good card. Like I just said, a little bit of controversy surrounding it now with the news about old Archer. Had some, what was it again, Jay? Atypical findings. Whatever that is, I don't know. He tested atypical. Man, I tell you, boxing gets crazier and crazier. Not by the day, by the minute, man. By the minute. Remember old Oscar last weekend? They're going to put the guy in there with an aneurysm. Got a guy laying in the hospital right now, unconscious from a boxing match, and they're going to put a guy in there with an aneurysm. I tell you, man, boxing is just crazy, man. But salute to everybody today, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the show. Yeah, man. Atypical. He tested atypical. He wasn't dirty. He was atypical. Old Archer. Viterbi. But Calvin say he don't care. Calvin say Archer going out of there anyway. I don't care what kind of typical he tested. Calvin say he gets hit too much. He's going to put hands on him. Calvin say he gets hit too much, and if I get my hands on him, that 100% knockout streak is history. But we will see. And we don't have long to wait. It's tomorrow. Salute, there's Thomas Morris in the building. What's up, Thomas Morris? Good to see you, bro. I haven't seen you in a minute. Now all I need is for attention Aunt McQueen to come in here. I haven't seen him in a minute either. I'm sure Thomas is still doing the training with Aunt in the mornings. Aunt might be a voyeur. He'll pop back in eventually. But welcome to Thomas Morris. Good to see. Always good to see that, brother. Looking for a personal trainer? Here's your man. Anytime Ronnie Lott trusted him to train him, you got to know what he's doing. That's right, Thomas Morris, man. Ronnie Lott. So there's your man. If you need a personal trainer. Tampa, Thomas Morris. All right. Let's take a quick look at this card tomorrow. Just a quick one, you know. That's all. The first fight, well, the main event is not just going to be the last fight. Artur Beterbiev taking on Callum Smith. And that's for Artur's light heavyweight, excuse me. Light heavyweight, he has the IBF, the WBC, and the WBO. Bivol has the WBA. And it's the way I hear it, that fight is already signed. If Artur wins, him and Bivol are going to get it on. I think it was April or March. Heard that from my friend Jay Hardcore, somewhere around in the springtime. And it was already signed, and if Artur wins this, then we're going to get that undisputed at light heavyweight. I got Bivol by points in that fight, by the way. If him and Artur get there and dance, yeah, I got Bivol. Bivol is just one of them ones, man. You know? Boy, it's talented, man. And can punch too. But he can box. He can box. And I think he will be, Artur will not be able to catch up with him. Because remember the yard fight? Early, he was having success boxing Artur, right? But Artur eventually caught up with him. Now I think Bivol can have that success for 12 rounds. He's a much better boxer than Yard, and Yard was having success early. He didn't have success late, but he was having success early, and I think Bivol can do it for 12 rounds. You know, that's where I would put my money on. If I had to borrow that last dollar of Jay Hardcore's, I'd put it on Bivol. Yes, I would. But anyway, that's the main event. And Arter is 19-0. Like I said, 19 knockouts, 100% knockout rate. He turned pro in 2013. Yeah. And he has been the light heavyweight champion since 2017. Won all his fights by knockout. 38 years old. And he has decimated his competition. Nobody has come close to beating him in 19 fights. Okay. Now, Callum was a former super middleweight fighter, okay? He turned pro in 2012. He's got a record of 29-1, and wasn't it Canelo? I believe his only loss is to Canelo, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, Canelo Alvarez is his only loss. And that's when he went to light heavyweight after Canelo beat him. Yeah. I think he was part of Canelo's European tour, I believe. I don't know. But yeah, that was his only loss. Canelo Alvarez, right? And then he moved to light heavyweight. And he's had 2 fights at light heavyweight. He's won both of them by knockout. Okay. And like I said, Callum said he is going to be the one to end that 100% knockout rate that Beterbiev has. Okay. Callum said Beterbiev is going out of there. So we'll see. And it's tomorrow. And like I said, the co-main is one of the Maloney brothers. It's Jason. Yeah, I was right. Jason. And it's for Jason's WBO bantamweight strap. Yeah, that was one of the straps that the Monster dropped before he went up. Yeah, okay, Al Booker, thank you. Yeah, it was Canelo. Okay. Yeah, no disrespect. Yeah. He was one of the guys that Canelo beat. He was for all those European fighters from Europe. It's no disrespect. European tour, he beat all the Europeans. That's who he was fighting. The guys from Europe, right? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Jason Maloney, one of the fighting Maloney brothers from Australia. This fight is for his WBO bantamweight title. He's fighting Saul Sanchez, right? Now, Jason is 26-2. He turned pro in 2014. Australian. He won the Commonwealth title in 2018. Then he lost his first fight of his career that same year to a guy named Emmanuel Rodriguez. He was going for the IBF bantamweight title at that time. He lost that one. He lost his first title fight, right? And then he went on a 4-fight winning streak. Then he fought for the title again, right? Lost to Naoya Inoue in 2020, fighting for the IBF bantamweight strap, okay? And since he lost to Inoue, he's won 5 straight fights, okay? So, and he won the bantamweight strap in May, okay? So Maloney comes into this one on a 5-fight winning streak, okay? Slow down, guys. What you say, T. Hill? You don't know about that Al Booker unless that Beterbiev is really hurt. Okay. You don't know about what? Oh, Al Booker said he think Callum can win. Thomas Hill said he don't know about that. Again, if Jay Hardcore would let me borrow that last dollar, I would put it on Archer. Yeah, I would put it on Archer. Okay. Yeah. But hey, it's boxing. And like Callum said, Archer does get hit a lot. He's got a good chin, but he does get hit a lot. Okay? So, yeah. But I would put that dollar on Archer if I had to. Now, the guys that Jason Maloney is fighting, right? Kind of lost my place a little bit. How did I get way back there, man? He's fighting a guy named Saul Sanchez. Okay. Where am I? Okay, here we go. Sanchez is 20-2. Okay. Turned pro in 2016. Nicknamed the Beast. Wow. I don't know too much about Saul. He's nicknamed the Beast. He lost his last fight in 2022. Now he's on a 2-fight winning streak. Won his last 2. His last fight was in October. A unanimous decision. Okay. He has 12 wins by knockout. All right. And then the next, the fight before that will be Christian and Billy against Rohan Murdoch. Okay, Billy's 25-0. Turned pro in 2017. Rising young super middleweight. And, I would like to see him and Morrell. Nobody's talking about that. I heard Jay Hardcore mention it yesterday, but there's not a lot of buzz about him and Morrell. Benavidez and Canelo won't fight either one of them. Fight each other, right? Fight each other. Oh, you got him stopping between 8 and 10, Al Booger? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. I'd say anywhere after 7. Right around where you talking, 8 and 10. Yeah. Anywhere in that range. I got Callum getting up out of there. Yep. But yeah, the next fight is Christian and Billy versus Rohan Murdoch. And Billy he won 2 fights last year. Okay. Last fight he knocked out Demond Nicholson in September. Knocked out my man Demond. Okay. And like I said, Christian is 25-0 with 21 by knockout. That's not a bad knockout rate there. Okay. Murdoch is 27-2. He's been pro since 2010. Wow. And check this out. After Murdoch lost in 2011, he's been on a 22-fight winning streak. Okay. But he lost in 2020 against Zach Parker. But he went on he had a 22-fight winning streak between 2011 and 2020 before he lost to Zach Parker. Okay. Since his loss to Parker, he's won his last 3 in a row. Okay. His last fight was a split decision win in March against Isaac Hardman. Okay. Then the last fight on the main card is Iman Kartayev versus Rodolfo Gomez Jr. They had to put a name in there for me to butcher. You know that. Okay. No, these are the cards on the preliminaries. Iman Kartayev versus Rodolfo Gomez Jr. Sometimes one of these come out to be the best fights. Christopher Guerrero versus Sergio Garcia Herrera. Mohamed Unal versus Dragon Lepay. Layla Boudoin versus Elizabeth Chavez Espinoza. Female fight on the card. Ramiro Fendero versus Victor Hugo Flores. And Wilkins Matthau and his opponent is to be announced. I don't ever understand that how it's to be announced the day before the fight. How is that possible? Don't somebody have to weigh in today? So they got his opponent to be announced. That's crazy. Yeah. I do not understand that. Okay. So now let's take a look at quick look at Marvelous Marvin Hagler today. Just a brief going over his career, highlights, history, personal life, Excuse me. Went down the wrong pipe. Tried to drink some water and go down the wrong pipe. Wow. That one did. Let me take another swig real quick. Excuse me, y'all. And water went down the wrong pipe, kind of messed me up today. But I'm back. Okay. We're going to look at Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and then we're going to look at the top 10 American boxers of all times. Okay? The Cast Sports top 10 American boxers of all time, that is. I had 9 likes when I started. I do. I still have 9. Everybody hit my like button. I'm just messing with y'all. But still hit my like button. Okay. Marvin Hagler was born May 23rd, 1954. Okay. We know he was a former American professional boxer. Competed from 1973 to 1987. 14 years. Okay. He reigned as an undisputed middleweight champion from 1980 to 1987. Right? Making 12 successful title defenses, all but one by knockout. Not bad. Okay. He holds the highest knockout percentage of all undisputed middleweight champions at 78%, almost 80%. Now his reign as undisputed middleweight champion of 6 years is the second longest active reign of the 20th century. Okay. And he holds this record for the 6th longest reign of reigning champion in middleweight history. Okay, his nickname was Marvelous. And a lot of times in his fights, the network commentators refused to call him Marvelous, right? So you know what he did? He legally changed his name to Marvelous Marvin Hagler in 1982. Okay. Since they wouldn't call him Marvelous, he changed his name to that. All right. Okay. Oh, you got, yeah. Oh, yeah, I read that. Al Booker got Archer stopping him between 8 and 10. Yeah, I got 7. Hagler's in the International Boxing Hall of Fame, of course. And the World Boxing Hall of Fame. He won Fighter of the Year 2 times by Ring Magazine and the Boxing Writers Association of America, as well as Boxing Illustrated's Fighter of the Decade of the 1980s, right? Ring Magazine named Hagler the 4th greatest middleweight of all time. All time, 4th greatest. In 2002, Ring named him the 17th greatest fighter of the past 69 years. The IBRO, International Boxing Research Organization, rates Hagler as the 6th greatest middleweight of all time. Boxway has him as the 29th greatest boxer of all time. Okay? Most analysts and writers, many analysts and writers consider Hagler to have one of the most durable chins in boxing history. Yeah, the man had a chin. Yeah. He was knocked down only one time during his entire professional career. He was knocked down by Ron Rodin, and that knockdown is still being disputed as a slip to this day. Okay? Knocked down only once in his career, and that's a disputed knockdown. Okay, questionable, with an asterisk beside it. For one of the most durable chins of all time. Marvelous. The marvelous one. Marvin Hagler. Yes, sir. I seen him live in action. Okay, on the big screen. Him and Sugar Ray Leonard. We're going to get to that. Take a look at his early life. Okay. He was the first child, Robert Sims and Ida Mae Hagler, May 23rd, 1954. He was raised by his mother in Newark, New Jersey. He had 5 siblings, sisters Veronica, Cheryl, Janara, and Noreen, and had a half-brother named Robbie Sims, right, on his father's side. Lonnie Lee. What's up, Lonnie? Welcome aboard on a Friday afternoon. Ready for the fights tomorrow and some NFL playoff football. Excuse me, let me correct myself. Not NFL football, NFL playoff football. Straight ahead of us. Dopo domani. That's tomorrow in Italian, I think. Okay. Yeah, he had 5 siblings, 4 sisters and a brother. Now, he first started boxing at the age of 10, okay? For a social worker he knew only as Mr. Joe. Mr. Joe taught him sports and got it involved in counseling other children. Got Marvin involved in counseling other children, okay? Mm-hmm. Oh, Lonnie Lee is a Cowboys fan. Okay. I ain't gonna hold that against you, Lonnie. All right. You from Texas? Or you just a Cowboy fan? Okay. I'm Ravens. Cowboys might make it to the Super Bowl. They got a nice defense. Okay. I think it all rides on Dak. They're only gonna go as far as Dak can take them. You know. Hope Dak don't choke this year. Okay. Sorry, Jay Hardcore. But, you know, Dak been choking the last few years. Cowboys only going to go as far as Dak can take them, which might be the Super Bowl. You know, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they get there. I got the Cowboys or 49ers from the NFC. I don't think the Eagles going to be able to go back. They are not playing too good right now at the wrong time. Okay. Yeah, the Eagles are kind of not playing their best right now. This is the wrong time to not be playing your best. Okay, so I got the Ravens against the Cowboys and 49ers in the Super Bowl this year. Okay. He started boxing at 10 years old. Okay. Social worker he knew only as Mr. Joe got him involved in sports. Okay. He dropped out of school when he was 14 years old, worked at a toy factory to help support his family. His mother recalled that he had always wanted to box. And he promised one day to buy her a home. Okay. When he was growing up, he always pretended he was Floyd Patterson or Emil Griffith. Not two good guys to pattern yourself after. Yeah. In 1967, his family moved to Brockton, Massachusetts. Okay, that was after the riots in 1967. Okay. His mother described the riots as really terrifying. And nobody left the Hagler's apartment for 3 days during the riots. Wow. The family lay under Veronica's bed during this time, a pair of bullets smashing through the bedroom window and shattering the plaster above the bed. Hagler and his siblings were forbidden from standing up by his mother, who told her children to stay away from the windows. The family crawled about their apartment, sliding around on cushions to reach the bathroom and kitchen. Once the riot was over, the nearby neighborhoods were mostly in ruin, and many cars had been stripped apart. After another riot nearly 2 years later, Hagler and his family got out of Newark and moved to Brockton, Massachusetts. All right. Take a look at Marvin's amateur career. Look at the amateur career. 1969, that's when he began boxing. At 1969, after a street fight with a local boxer called Darnell Wigfall. Okay, they got into an argument at a party and went outside. And he actually fought Wigfall as a professional twice, beat him both times. Now, at the fight outside on the street, Wigfall beat him bad, right? Took Hagler's jacket from him. The day after the fight, Hagler was determined to become a boxer himself. He entered Vinnie Vecchione's gym, where unknown to him, the same guy he got into the street fight with, that guy trained at that gym too. Hagler didn't even know that. But after working out there 1 week and nobody really paying him attention and giving him assistance, he walked out of the gym. And that's when he ended up meeting the brothers, Pat and Good Petronelli, okay? They became his trainers and managers. Now, he needed to be 16 in order to enter some amateur tournaments. He lied about his age. Said he was born in 1952 instead of 1954, okay? In 73, he won the National Amateur Athletic Union, AAU, 165-pound title after defeating Terry Dobbs, a U.S. Marine from Atlanta, Georgia. And that same year, he was voted outstanding boxer of the tournament. And also in that tournament, as amateurs were Aaron Pryor and Leon Spinks. Hagler won outstanding boxer of that tournament over those guys, right? He finished his amateur career with a record of 55-1, okay? This hard. That's a very good record for amateurs, you know, because you're fighting so often and against different styles. I mean, you're not watching a lot of film and all that stuff like you do in the pros. So one loss in the amateurs is outstanding. You know, 55-1. Yep. Okay. Then he turned professional after a 55-1 amateur career. Now, he was a top-ranked middleweight for a whole lot of years before he fought for the title, right? He struggled to find high-profile opponents that was willing to face him in his early years. Joe Frazier told him one time, "You have 3 strikes against you. Number 1, you're black. Number 2, you're a southpaw. And number 3, you're good." They often had to travel to his opponent's hometown to get fights. The first break came when he was offered on 2 weeks' notice a chance against Willie the Worm Monroe, who was being trained by guess who? Joe Frazier. Okay. Now Hagler lost the decision to Monroe, but it was a close fight. So Monroe gave him a rematch. And in the rematch, Hagler knocked Monroe out in 12 rounds. Of course, it was 15 rounds then. Okay. Then in the third, they fought a third time. In the trilogy, Hagler beat Monroe, knocked him out in 2 rounds. Okay. Now, a promoter from Boston named Rick Valenti took an interest in Hagler and began bringing in top-ranked opponents for Hagler to face. Okay. All right. In 1972, he fought Olympic gold medalist Sugar Ray Seals. Hagler won the first fight. Second fight was a draw. Hagler knocked Seals out in the third fight. Okay. Then he knocked out number 1 ranked middleweight Mike Colbert in the 12th round, and also broke his jaw. Okay. He stopped Kevin Finnegan, who needed 40 facial stitches, so now he's starting to get noticed. Then he lost a controversial decision to Bobby Watt. Okay. But then he knocked Watts out in 2 rounds in a rematch. He knocked out Benny Briscoe. And by then, the Bob father took notice of him and signed him. Okay. He was just that good. People was avoiding him. But when this one promoter from Boston took an interest, started getting in the fights, he got noticed. The Bob father stepped in. November 1979, he got his first title shot. Okay. He fought middleweight champion Rito Antuofermo. Not bad for Cat Sports Physics. I've been saying his name for years. Well, I would have butchered it. He fought Antuofermo at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, after 15 rounds, when the fight was over, most ringside observers thought Hagler had won the fight. Okay. Even though Antuofermo was coming on in the second half. Y'all saw that one. Hagler even claimed that the referee Mills Lanes told him he had won the fight, which Lanes denied later on. Of course, he's going to deny it when he found out that the judges didn't agree, right? Okay. But I believe he told him that. Why would Hagler lie about that? But anyway, the fight was called a draw. Judge Drain Ford scored the fight in Hagler's favor, 145-141. Darby Shirley scored the fight for Antuofermo, 144-142. Hal Miller scored the fight even, 143-143. Okay. So controversial draw. Antuofermo got to keep his title. Fight only added to Hagler's frustration. As Antuofermo retained his title with the draw, like I said. Now, Hagler had the skills and killer instinct to knock out his opponents, but instead he played it safe as Antuofermo closed the gap late in the fight. And that late surge cost Hagler the title. Yeah. Hagler took his feet off the gas, in other words. That's what ended up happening. Okay? Yeah. Okay, finally, he became a world champion. Okay, because Antuofermo lost the title to British boxer Alan Minter. And Minter gave Hagler his second title shot, okay? But Hagler had to go to England. You know that. Minter wasn't coming out. You know how those English fighters always been like that. Hagler, you want this belt, you got to come over here. I'm not coming to no America. Okay. So Hagler went to Wembley Arena to face him. The atmosphere was tense. And it was tense. It was stoked further when Minter was quoted as saying, "No black man is going to take my title." Sound like what B-Hop said, the opposite. See what happened to B-Hop. Okay. Minter said, "No black man is going to take my title." Now, Minter later insisted what he meant was that black man Hagler not going to take my title. But he said what he meant the first time. No biggie. And in the fight, Hagler took command and slashing punches soon opened up the cut prone Minter. Because Minter was prone for cuts during fights. With Hagler dominating the action, referee Carlos Barrocas halted the fight during the third round. You had the 4 glaring cuts on Minter's face examined. Minter's manager, Doug Bidwell, almost immediately conceded defeat. Once Barrocas waved the belt off, a riot broke out. I saw that on TV. It was all kind of stuff going in the ring. I think I seen some chairs going in that ring, man. But once the referee waved it off, all hell broke loose in there, man. Cleve Gammon of Sports Illustrated described the scene as a horrifying mutilation of pals and booze. It was more than that. It was all kind of stuff going on in the ring. Them English people looked terrible that day, man. They should be ashamed of that performance. Hagler and his trainers had to be escorted their locker room by a phalanx of policemen, all the while enduring a steady rain of beer bottles and glasses. After 7 years and 50 fights, Hagler was the middleweight champion. Him and Minter later became friends too. Yep. So after 7 years, in his 50th fight, Hagler was finally the champion. Okay. And he was a busy world champion too. Okay. He knocked out this Venezuela. I'm not even going to attempt his name. First name was Fulgencio. Knocked him out in 8 rounds. Fought Antonio Fermo again in the rematch. This time Hagler had the belt. Stopped him in 4 rounds. Both fights were fought at the Boston Garden, near Hagler's hometown. Boston fight fans loved him. Okay. Then he fought Mustafa Hamsho. Then Bobby Chaz. Okay. William Caveman Lee. He lasted only 1 round with Hagler. So he went on he was very busy, and he was beating everybody. Like I said, he had all those title defenses, and he only went the round in 1 of them. Okay. Finally, he went up against Roberto Duran. November 10th, 1983. And Duran was the first challenger to go the distance in a title fight with Hagler. Okay. Very good fight. Duran was a junior middleweight champion at the time, but he moved up to challenge Hagler for the middleweight fight title. Hagler won a unanimous 15-round decision. Although, after 13 rounds, Duran was ahead by 1 point on 2 scorecards and even on the 3rd. I didn't see it that way. I had Hagler winning. I had it close, but I didn't have Duran winning at no point during the fight. But the judges had him ahead after round 13, and Hagler needed both of those last rounds. Okay. One eye was swollen, but he came out strong in the last 2 rounds to win it. One judge had a 144-142, one had a 144-143, one had a 146-145, all in favor of Hagler. Very close fight. Very close fight. Okay. Then, a few more successful title defenses. Then we come to Hagler versus Hearns, a classic. Anybody who haven't seen Hearns versus Hagler is doing themselves a disservice, man. Imagine a fight that only lasted 3 rounds was fight of the year, 1985. Can you imagine that? A fight only lasted 3 rounds was fight of the year. So that had to be fire. Hagler versus Hearns. After he beat Mustafa Hamsho, he fought Thomas Hearns April 15th, 1985, tax day. Now, before the fight, it was called The Fight. After the fight over, they changed it to The War. Round 1, 3 minutes of violence. Within the first 15 seconds, Hearns landed his best punch, a straight right on the Hagler's chin. The champion stepped back, then came forward. At this point, Hagler began to walk through Hearns' power punches. Round 2. Hagler was cut on his head from an unintentional elbow or headbutt. Despite the blood, the champion continued to push the fight forward. Hearns was fighting hurt as well, having suffered a broken right hand in the last minute of the first round. The pace continued as before, but now Hearns was backing up, trying to move around the ring. Hagler wouldn't let it. Hearns' trainer Emmanuel Stewart later revealed Hearns had a leg massage, much to Stewart's dismay before the fight. Hearns' legs were weakening by the end of the second round. Round 3. The pace slowed until referee Richard Steele called the timeout to have the ringside doctor examine the cut on Hagler's head. The crowd was on their feet for the next 10 seconds before the doctor allowed the fight to continue. Hagler charged the much taller Hearns, drilling in an overhand right behind Hearns' ear. Hearns' legs wobbled, and Hagler was on him quickly. Hearns toppled to the canvas, then rose at the count of 8. but collapsed in the referee Richard Steele's arms. The fight was then halted. Okay? Fight only lasted 8 minutes and 1 second, but it was regarded as a classic. Al Michaels uttered the famous line. It didn't go very far, but it was a beauty. And like I say, 3-round fight of the year. Just imagine that. Greatest 3 rounds ever, right, Jay Hardcore? First round was round of the year. Okay. Then he went up against John Mugabe. Another good, very good fight. The Beast, John Mugabe. Okay. And he beat Mugabe. Mugabe was from Uganda. Olympic silver medalist. Came in 26-0. 26 knockouts. But he fought Hagler, okay. Ranked #1 contender by all 3 major bodies. Okay. March 10th, 1986. Hagler had hurt his fight. The belt fight had been postponed from 1985. Okay. Stopped Mugabe in the 11th round of a brutal fight. Many ringside observers, including analyst Gil Clancy, noticed that Hagler was showing signs of advanced ring wear and age. Okay. He was much slower of hand and foot and seemed much easier to hit. He had also completely morphed his ring style from a slick, quick-fisted boxer puncher to a strictly flat-footed, stalking slugger to compensate for his loss in speed and reflexes. Now, Hagler versus Leonard. Okay. Still controversial to this day. Yep, Jay Hardcore's a beast. After the Beast, he fought Sugar Ray Leonard, who's returning to the ring after a 3-year retirement. Okay? He had only fought 1 time in the past 5 years. During the pre-fight negotiations, in return for granting Hagler a larger share of the purse, Sugar Ray obtained several conditions which were crucial to his strategy. 22 by 22 foot ring instead of a smaller one, 10-ounce gloves instead of 8-ounce. And the fight was to be over 12 rounds instead of the 15 rounds favored by Hagler. Because see, they were still fighting 15 then. They was just starting to go to 12 rounds, but they still had the option of 15. But Sugar Ray Hagler was 12. Okay. Sugar Ray worked that into the contract. Okay. Now Sugar Ray was 2 years younger than Hagler, but he only had half as many fights than Hagler. And unbeknownst to Hagler, Sugar Ray had engaged in several real gloves rounds of referee, judges, and everything. No headgear fights behind closed doors in order to shake off the ring rust. The fight was in Las Vegas, Nevada, April 6, 1987. Caesar's Palace. Okay. Now Hagler is a natural southpaw, and he opened the fight fighting orthodox. Okay. Now after the quick and slick Leonard won the first 2 rounds, on all 3 scorecards, Hagler started the 3rd round as a southpaw. Switched to southpaw after round 3. Then he started doing much better once he switched to southpaw. Though Leonard's superior speed and quick flurries kept him in the fight. Okay. By the 5th round, Leonard was moving a lot and he began to tire. Hagler started to get closer to him. As Leonard tired, he began to clinch with more frequency. Okay. Richard Steele gave him over 30 warnings for holding, but he never took a point from him. At the end of the 5th, Hagler buckled Leonard with an uppercut. Okay. And the round ended with Leonard on the ropes. 7 and 8, Hagler's southpaw jab was landing solidly, and Leonard's counter flurries were less frequent. Okay. Now, after the fight was over, Hagler said that Leonard said before the judges gave the scores, Hagler said Sugar Ray said to him, "You beat me, man." Okay. He said, I beat him, and I was so happy. Of course, Leonard denied that. Now, the scores for the fight were, one judge had it 118-110. That was ridiculous. Okay, that was ridiculous. One judge had it 115-113. Both of those was for Leonard. One judge had it 115-113 for Hagler. And that result remains hotly disputed to this day. Okay? The Hagler-Leonard fight divides fans, pundits, press, and ringside observers, arguably more than any other fight in boxing history. Okay? Scorecards varied as widely as 117-111 Hagler to 118-110 Leonard, and everything in between. The only near universally agreed views about the Hagler-Leonard fight was that Hagler was foolish for starting the fight in an orthodox stance. That Leonard won the first 2 rounds and that Hagler won the 5th round. Every other round in the fight divides people as to who actually won it, or if the rounds were even. Now, official ringside judge Jojo Guerrera, whose scorecard was 118-110 in favor of Leonard, was derided in many quarters. This is what he said after the fight. Leonard outpunched Hagler, outsmarted him, outboxed him. He looked just great. Sugar Ray Leonard was making him miss a lot and then counterpunching him. Sugar Ray Leonard would beat him to the punch. They should call him Marvelous Sugar Ray Leonard. Boxing is the art of self-defense, and Sugar Ray was in command at all times. He was very fast and he was very clever. He made Marvin Hagler come to him. He dictated the fight. Now, Dave Moretti judged that fight. Isn't that ridiculous? Dave Moretti is still judging now, almost 40 years later. Wow. He had to fight 115-113 for Leonard. Okay. He said, obviously, Hagler was the aggressor, but he was not the effective aggressor. You can't chase and get hit and chase and get hit and get credit for it. Besides, the hardest punching was done by Leonard. Now, Judge Lou Filippo scored the fight 115-113 for Hagler. Okay. He felt that Hagler's body shots and aggression earned him the win. He said Hagler was doing all the work. The referee Richard Steele warned Leonard at least once every round about holding. Leonard fought in spurts. Leonard would run in and grab and hold. He did what he had to do, but I can't see a guy holding that much and getting points for it. Okay? Now, there was a story about this fight. There was a judge that, each camp gets to choice whether they want a guy to actually judge their fight. And this one judge, Hagler's camp turned down. And after he watched the fight on TV, he had it 115-113 for Hagler. Ain't that crazy? Now, Hagler always wanted the rematch for that fight, but Sugar Ray wouldn't give him the rematch. And I think Sugar Ray retired. Okay. Yeah, Hagler requested a rematch, but Leonard chose to retire. Again for the 3rd time, right? 14 months after the fight, Hagler gave up on the rematch and retired from boxing. Now check this out. He said he was tired of waiting for Leonard. Check this out. Hagler waited 14 months for the rematch. Then he finally gave up, retired. A month after Hagler retired, Sugar Ray came back to boxing. Sugar Ray outweighted him. Sugar Ray, no, he didn't want to get in there with Hagler again. Very controversial fight, though. Still disputed to this day. Yeah. But ain't that crazy? Hagler waited over a year trying to get that rematch. Sugar Ray said, no, I'm retired. Then a month after Hagler gave up retired, Sugar Ray came back to boxing. Oh, boy. Okay, let's take a quick look at Hagler's life after boxing, because I want to do this Cash Sports Top 10 Americans of all time. After the loss to Leonard, Hagler moved to Italy, where he became a well-known star of action film. His roles included the U.S. Marine in the films Indio, 1989, and Indio 2, 1991. In 1997, he starred alongside Terrence Hill and Giselle Blondet in Virtual Weapon. Hagler also provided boxing commentary for British television. Another foray by Hagler into the entertainment field included work on the video game Fight Night, Round 3. All right. Hagler had 5 children with his first wife, Bertha. Terrell, Celeste, James, Marvin Jr., and Gentry. Although he owned a home in Gauntlett, New Hampshire, Hagler lived in Milan, Italy. In May 2000, he married his second wife, Kay, in Italian, to Lotello, Italy. On March 13th, 2021, Hagler's wife, Kay, announced that he had died of natural causes at his home in New Hampshire at the age of 66. Man, he died from natural causes at 66. Wow. I never knew that. I never knew what he died of. It said natural causes at 66. I thought you died of natural causes like 90 or something. Anyway, his son James and his father was taken to a New Hampshire hospital after experiencing. Okay, his son James said his father was taken to a New Hampshire hospital after experiencing chest pains and difficulty breathing. That don't sound like natural causes to me. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Okay. Take a look at a little bit of awards he won. Named Fighter of the Decade, 1980. American Fighter of the Year, 83 and 85. Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year, 1983 and 85. Received the Golden Plate Award of the American Academy of Achievement in 1983. Inducted into both the International Boxing Hall of Fame and the World Boxing Hall of Fame in 1993. Awarded the Excellence Gerland de Homer and was entered in the Facts Hall of Fame during the 2016 edition of Sport, Movies, and TV, Milano International of Fix Fest. I know I shouldn't have tried that Italian name. All right. It's time for the Cash Sports Top 10, American Top 10 Boxers of all time. You still out there, Al Booger? You ready? Jay the Hammer Hardcore. What is that? What's up, Mike Mason? How you doing, bro? Leonard was throwing a multitude of punches at him. Yeah. That is true. Let me go up. That is a great point. I want to touch on that. Yeah, Jay. Leonard was throwing a multitude of punches at the end of every round. That is a great point because he was stealing rounds. Because after the fight, Sugar Ray said that he had told Angelo Dundee to yell out to him when it was 30 seconds left in every round, and that's when he went to work. Yep. He stole a lot of rounds. One of the judges said that too. I think the judge that voted for Hagler said that Sugar Ray was just stealing rounds. Yeah. That is a great point, Jay. He sure did. He stole a lot of rounds. He was throwing a lot of punches at the end of rounds. Mm-hmm. Okay, Al Booger is still here. Here we go. Cash Sports. I'm not ready just yet. Give me one moment, please. Yeah. Everybody ready for the playoff tomorrow, though? I am. You know, the Baltimore Ravens is favored to take everything this year. Okay. Yep. I think they will. Like I said, only way they won't is if Coach John Harbaugh do something stupid. You know, he always makes some bad coaching decisions. I've seen this cat have 4th and 5 from the 20-yard line, and you got the best kicker in NFL history, and you're gonna go for it with 4th and 5. Yeah, I've seen John Harbaugh do some stupid stuff. I hope you don't blow it for the team this year. Yeah, I want to see Lamar get that Super Bowl. Okay. Thomas Morris says, but Ray clearly won that fight. I just don't see the controversy. Yeah. You can't be mad, Thomas. You know, can't be mad. Cannot be mad if with Sugar Ray getting it. Oh man, I can't even find my list, man. Bear with me for 1 second. I need like 2 seconds. Yeah, Thomas. Here it is. Sugar Ray did enough to win, I would say. It was a very close fight. And that's one of them ones that's gonna always be disputed, you know? Always gonna be a dispute about that. Okay, Cast Sports, top 10 American boxers of all time. It's getting late. Okay. A little quick summary. Boxing stands as one of the most widely embraced sports worldwide, boasting a rich legacy across numerous nations. Its roots trace back to ancient Greece and later earned the coveted spot as one of the earliest additions to the Olympics Games. The sport gained global recognition primarily propelled by the efforts of the British and Americans. However, it is in America that boxing achieved unparalleled success, birthing hundreds of skilled boxers in the early 20th century. And this trend has persevered to the present day. The United States has been a breeding ground for formidable boxers, but there are a few that stand out from the rest. Okay. Cast Sports top 10 American boxers of all time. Coming in at number 10, Big George Foreman. Okay. Big George Foreman, number 10. Yeah, each round, he did that every round, Jay. You are right. Number 10, Big George Foreman. Okay. One of the most intimidating presences in sports history. Foreman ran roughshod through the heavyweight division, becoming champion less than 4 years into his career. He bulldozed Joe Frazier and Ken Norton, creating an invincible aura going into Zaire. Muhammad Ali's rope-a-dope legend may be a bit exaggerated as he was winning pre-knockout, but that night ruined Foreman's prime. However, Big George's 1990s rebirth, giving Evander Holyfield some trouble and flooring Michael Moorer to become the oldest heavyweight champ at age 45, coupled with his early 70s dominance, undoubtedly qualify him as one of the greats. Number 10, Big George Foreman. Thomas Morris says Hagler couldn't let his hands go. He was shot. Yeah, and Sugar Ray, Hagler couldn't catch up with him. He couldn't, he pinned Hearns down. Hearns tried to box him too, but Hearns couldn't get away from it. But Sugar Ray was just much quicker, much better feet. Now, Hearns wasn't bad, but Sugar Ray was much quicker, much better feet. That's a much better boxer than Hearns, you know. He was able to evade Hagler, you know. Yeah. Coming in at number 9. The Ghetto Wizard, Benny Leonard. Now this is all time, so remember, a lot of guys come back from the old days. Number 9, the Ghetto Wizard, Benny Leonard. Okay. Yeah, Thomas, that's a good point though. Yeah, couldn't catch up with Sugar Ray. Okay, Benny Leonard, the Ghetto Wizard, is number 9. In an era when fighters were far more active than they are today, Leonard's numbers stand out. The longest reigning lightweight champion from 1917 to 25. Leonard ended his career 85 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, with 69 knockouts. 3 losses came before his 21st birthday. A 4th loss occurred at the hands of Hall of Famer Jimmy McLaurin after Leonard emerged from retirement, and the 5th came because of a disqualification in a welterweight title fight. He was likely winning. In between, the slick 5'5" boxer puncher was peerless. 5 losses, 3 before his 21st birthday, 1 when he came out of retirement, and 1 he got disqualified in a fight he was winning. Arguably, this man could be 90-0. Number 9, Benny Leonard. Okay. Cash Sports top 10 Americans of all time. Now I know it's gonna be some flack about this one. Coming in at number 8, Floyd Pretty Boy / Money Mayweather. Number 8. Okay. Floyd Pretty Boy / Money Mayweather. Coming in at number 8. Cash Sports top 10 American boxers of all time. Floyd Money Mayweather, number 8. Where you at, Al Booker? One of the most skilled craftsmen in modern boxing history, Mayweather, 50-0, would rank higher were he not fixated on that unbeaten record. Floyd's 2001 destruction of top 130-pound foe Diego Corrales preceded 2 wins over a prime Jose Luis Castillo, though he probably lost the first Castillo fight. But Mayweather opted for mismatches in his late 20s. His money years almost exclusively involved meetings with rivals at ideal times. The 5-division champ may have been good enough to beat his peers at their best, but boxing's financial kingpin repeatedly refused to test himself, docks him historically. Okay? Coming in at number 7, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. At number 7, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Okay? Okay. Yeah, lights looking good, these two. All right. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. In a decade featuring tough guy action heroes, Hagler was the boxing equivalent. Aborted for years, the working class fighter saw a bogus draw deny him the middleweight crown. Shortly after his 1979 draw against Rito Antuofermo, Hagler, 62 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, began a 7-year title reign. The bruising southpaw had better luck finding 1980s opponents, laying waste to natural middleweights and beating legends Roberto Duran and Tommy Hearns, a defining boxing sequence. While Hagler's hard luck ways returned when Sugar Ray Leonard received a long debated decision, leading to Hagler's retirement, his run stacks up well historically. Okay? 7, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. All right, we're down to almost to the top 5. Now, the number 6. I want to tell you about this top 5, man. When I get to this top 5. Woo-hoo-wee. Okay, coming in at number 6 on the Cash Sports Top 10 American Boxers of all time, Sugar Ray Leonard. Number 6, Sugar Ray Leonard. Okay. Sublimely skilled, Leonard parlayed his Olympic gold medal into becoming the post-Muhammad Ali face of boxing. Leonard's welterweight wins over Wilfred Benitez, Roberto Duran after a close loss, and Thomas Hearns gave him career-defining moments before he turned 26. But Leonard's prime ended early. Had the eye injury not intervened, we are likely talking about a top 5 all-time fighter. Leonard, 36 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, may not have deserved a decision over Marvin Hagler, but even being competitive against a heavily favored middleweight after essentially a 5-year layoff showed the vast toolbox the charismatic star possessed. Now we're at the top 5. I put this top 5 up against anybody. Okay. This top 5 is fire, man. Cash Sports Top 10 American Boxers of all time. I am now at the top 5. Woo-wee. Wait till you hear this. Buckle your seatbelts. Make sure you're sitting down. Coming in at number 5, the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis. Okay, the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis. The longest reigning heavyweight champion, Lewis ruled boxing when it stood atop the American sports hierarchy. The vicious puncher won the belt in 1937 and defended it a record 25 times, beating the likes of Billy Conn and Jersey Joe Walcott. He also knocked out the 5 previous heavyweight champs. 5 previous heavyweight champs knocked them all out, including Max Baer and Max Schmeling. Okay, Max Baer and Max Schmeling. After Schmeling beat Lewis in 1936, the Brown Bomber floored the German 2 years later in what was probably the most anticipated fight in boxing history. Had the whole world on it, the whole free world on his shoulders, because that was around Hitler's time, remember? And Hitler said, they are, nobody else can match the Aryans. They are supreme over everybody. Joe Louis went over there. Joe Louis beat him, stopped him, okay? Probably the most anticipated fight in boxing history. Late career losses to Ezra Charles and Rocky Marciano do not detract from one of sports' defining legacies. Probably shouldn't have been in there when he fought Rocky or Ezra Charles, okay? All right. Now, where are we? Number 4. Ooh. Coming in at number 4 on the Cash Sports Top 10 Boxers of All Time. Coming in at number 4, the Will or the Wisp, Willie Pep. That's right, Willie Pep, y'all. Colonel Whitaker's top competition for boxing defense GOAT, Willie Pep, deployed a silky smooth style, watched him last night, that bedoubled featherweights for years. En route to this is true. En route to a 230 wins, 11 losses, 1 draw mark. Pep won his first 63 fights. First 63 out the gate, okay? Already residing as the world's top-ranked featherweight, Pep took the 126-pound belt from Hall of Famer Chalky Wright in 1944 and kept it for 4 years. Unfortunately, injuries from a 1947 plane crash sapped some of Pep's wizardry, leaving him vulnerable. Sandy Sadler took Pep's belt in 1948, but Pep managed to recapture it in 1949's Fight of the Year and further his claim as one of the sports giants. Okay, so down, Cass. I'm excited. Where am I at now? Number 3. Cass Sports Top 10 American Boxers of All Time. Coming in at number 3. Hurricane Hank, Henry Armstrong, y'all. Henry Armstrong at number 3. If Hurricane Hank is number 3. Y'all, I think you already know the top 2, but you don't know the order. You gotta know the top 2, but you don't know the order. Okay, Hurricane Hank, Henry Armstrong. Perhaps joined by Babe Ruth's 1927 or Usain Bolt's 2008 and 9. Armstrong's 9-month run from November 1937 to August 1938 is in the discussion for greatest sports year ever. Hurricane Hank went 27-0 with 26 knockouts in 1937 and won the featherweight title. Let me read that again. In 1937, Hurricane Hank went 27-0 with 26 knockouts. No, that's not a misprint. 27-0 in 1 year, 26 knockouts. That's a whole career, man. Plus, he won the featherweight title that year. The next year, the relentless attacker captured Barney Ross's welterweight belt and won the lightweight strap. Boxing had 8 weight divisions in 1938. Armstrong had 3 titles at once. 8 weight divisions. He was champion in 3 of them at one time. Okay. Career record, 151 wins, 21 losses, 9 draws. That's a lot of draws. Wow. Many felt he should have won the middleweight belt in a 1940 draw. He nonetheless beat 16 champions and made a record 19 welterweight title defenses. A virtuoso talent. Okay, here comes the top 2. Top 2. You know who they are, but you don't know the order. At number 2, Cash Sports top 10 boxers of all time. Bruce Gass in the building. Bruce Gass did a wonderful. Did I tell y'all about that already? On Joe Frazier today? Let me tell y'all again. Great tribute to Joe Frazier today on his 80th birthday. No, I didn't tell you. Joe Frazier would have been 80 today. I told y'all about that. Bruce Gass, I told y'all earlier, and I got to be over there at 12. So go back and check that out. That was great. If you like these little profiles I do on former boxers each day, you will love that thing Bruce Gass did today. I learned some stuff too. But anyway, coming in at number 2, Cash Sports top 10 boxers of all time. The Louisville Slugger, Muhammad Ali, number 2. Had the Vietnam War not occurred, Ali probably submits a historic, uninterrupted run of brilliance. No heavyweight could do what 1960s Ali did, his movement, picking all comers apart. But Ali cemented his legend after his hiatus. Dropped into the most loaded era in heavyweight history. Ali prevailed over his rivals and beat everyone there was to beat in the 70s. Former record was 56-5, by the way. Ali 2.0 never regained all of Ali 1.0's skills, but his brilliance derailed George Foreman, and his will broke Joe Frazier in Manila in probably the greatest fight in boxing history. The Thriller in Manila, yes. Anybody who hasn't seen the Thriller in Manila, you're doing yourself a disservice, okay? A 3-time champion, Ali will be a towering sports figure for all time, okay? Down to number 1. Number 1 on the Cash Sports all-time American boxers of all time is, Hurricane Hank, Homicide Hank. I like Hurricane Hank better, Albert, but he was also called Homicide Hank. At number 1, of course, Sugar Ray Robinson. Okay, number 1, Sugar Ray Robinson. But the term pound for pound entered the mainstream vernacular largely because of Sugar Ray Robinson, who through his unparalleled speed, power arsenal at the welterweight and middleweight divisions in the 1940s and 50s. He beat a stacked slate of competition, winning the 160-pound title 5 times. Prior to first taking the middleweight belt via the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, he was a demon at 147. Robinson, who lost once in his first 123 fights. Let me read that again. Robinson, who lost once in his first 123 fights, also nearly took Joey Maxim's light heavyweight belt. But scorching heat forced him to quit on his stool. Less of a superpower after a 2.5-year retirement, Robinson, final record, 175 wins, 19 losses, 6 draws. Less of a superpower after a 2.5-year retirement, Robinson still became the Associated Press Fighter of the 20th century. There you have it. Cash Sports top 10 American boxers of all time. 2 reviews. Number 10, Big George Foreman. Number 9, the Ghetto Wizard, Benny Leonard. Number 8, Floyd, Pretty Boy / Money Mayweather. Hello, Miss Cass. This is Miss Cass, y'all. Way back to Miss Cass. Hi. That's my better half right there, Miss Cass. Better half, other half, Miss Cass in the building. Hello there. By the way, Miss Cass cooking up some steaks tonight for dinner. So I ain't got to eat noodles tonight, Jay. Hardcore. Having steaks now. They laughed at my meal one night. You was at work, honey. I had ouzo noodles and hot dogs, and they laughed. I had to throw them away. Where was it? Okay, number 8, Floyd, Pretty Boy / Money Mayweather Jr. Number 7, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Number 6, Sugar Ray Leonard. And that top 5, I put that up against anybody's top 5. Number 5, the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis. Number 4, the Will O' the Wisp, Willie Pep. Number 3, Hurricane / Homicide Hank, Henry Armstrong. Yes, Happy Al Booger. Number 2, the Louisville Slugger, Muhammad Ali. And number 1, Sugar Ray Robinson, Mr. Powerful Pal himself. Okay, there you have it. Okay, come on with the comments, Al Booger. Okay, now let's take a quick look at the history of, where are we today? Junior Featherweight Division. How y'all like that? I don't know about 6 through 10, but top 5 was fire. Top 5 was fire. That is not only the top 5 Americans of all time. That top 5 is top 5 of anybody of all time, any nationality. It's junior featherweight, 122. Did y'all hear Bill Belichick resigned? He didn't retire because they say the Atlanta Falcons won it. But New England, they had the new coach. I forgot his name, but I saw it earlier this morning. Yeah. Bill Belichick is tired of losing. He's leaving New England. Get down there to Atlanta. Don't be surprised. Might bring Tom Brady back. Wouldn't that be something? Junior featherweight is 122. Junior featherweight, super bantamweight, same thing. Okay. Roy Jones, nah, man. Roy Jones is number 11 then, Al Booger. Okay. Roy Jones is number 11. Now, who would I take out to put? If I put Roy Jones in, I'd take who out? Floyd? Well, Big George was 10. This is a good one though, Al Booger. Roy Jones. Yeah. Nah. How you like my top 5, Al Booger? How you like my top 5? That's an all-time of all-time, not just American. Let's take a quick look at the super bantamweight division, or junior featherweight. Okay. Now, it's contested between 118 and you can't go over 122. Right, super bantamweight, junior featherweight. Yeah, that top 5 was fire, man. I got smoke coming out of my ears over here. Now, there were attempts by boxing promoters in the 1920s to establish this weight class, but few sanctioning organizations or state athletic commissions would recognize it. Now, Jack Wolf won recognition as the champion when he beat Joe Lynch at Madison Square Garden on September 21st, 1922. But afterwards, the weight division disappeared, right? Okay. Now, it was revived in the 1970s. And the first title fight in 54 years at junior featherweight took place in 1976. When the WBC recognized Rigoberto Riasco as its champion, and he beat Nakayama in 8 rounds. I'm not even going to attempt his first name, but that's when the WBO recognized the junior featherweight division when it really came back into view in the 70s. Okay, now the WBA crowned its first junior featherweight champion in 1977 when Su Hong Hong knocked out Hector Cavaskilla in 3 rounds to win the inaugural WBA championship. 1983, the IBF sanctioned its first championship bout between Bobby Burner and Song In-Sa. Okay, Burner won the fight in 11 rounds. What are they trying to do to me with these names? Okay. Now, notable fighters to hold championships that came through had titles at 122, Junior featherweight has been Wayne McCullough, Guillermo Rigondeaux, Scott Quigg, Wilfredo Gomez, bad boy there, Wilfredo. Lupe Pinto, another bad boy, Lupe. Yeah, he killed the guy in there one time. Jeff Finich, Fabrice Benatal, Daniel Zaragoza, Kennedy McKinney, Eric Morales, Marco Antonio Barrera, Manny Pacquiao, Rafael Marquez, Toshiaki Nishioka, Carl Frampton, Leo Santa Cruz, Isaac Dogby, Israel Vasquez. Just some of the guys that had champions at that division. And Wilfredo Gomez holds the record for longest title reign, 5 years. Almost 6 years, 5 years and 10 months. Now the current world champions at 122, excuse me. Current world champions at 122 are as follows. For the WBA, well, it's Naoya Inoue, undisputed. So you know you're running them down. Inoue is undisputed at 122. Now here are the ring rankings, and this is as of I think this is very current. This is as of 2 days ago. Really? Wait a minute now. Bear with me for 1 second. Yeah. Okay, here we go. This is as of 2 days ago, it says. Of course, they have the champion as Naoya Inoue. No, as of January 5th. These rankings are as of January 5th, okay? The champion, this is Ring Magazine. As I always say, Ring Magazine is owned by Oscar, but I'm not going to hold that against him. Okay, these rankings, I use Ring because they are pretty cool. Ring rankings, yeah. Champion Naoya Inoue at number 1, Stephen Fulton. Where is he fighting at now anyway? I haven't heard nothing from him since he lost to Cool Boy. But this is as of January 5th, and they had Cool Boy ranked number 1 at 122. Number 2, Marlon Tapales. Of course, he just lost his 2 belts to Naoya, the monster. Number 3, Rirahan Akhmadaliev. That name is almost right. Number 4, Sam Goodman. Ranked number 5 is Louis Neary. I heard something about him in Monster Nicks. Yeah. Anybody hear that? Louis Neary and Monster Nicks. Number 6 is Rais Alim. 7, Azat Ohanassian. 8, Elijah Pierce. 9, TJ Doheny. And coming in at number 10, Liam Davies. There you have it. Those are the rankings. Okay. All right, everybody. Got about 15 minutes. So no link today. We don't have time. But yeah. NFL football tomorrow. We got Better Beat and Callum Smith. Little controversy with the what was it, Jay, again? Atypical. Better Beef had the atypical test. He didn't test positive or negative. He tested atypical. Whatever that is, you know. But he's a Bob Father fighter, so you know. But Keyshawn was a Bob Father fighter. He got suspended for weed. He didn't get the atypical. He got suspended, and they took his win away from him, right? Yeah. I guess weed ain't atypical. You know, but whatever Archer tested for was atypical. That's my new favorite word, atypical. Okay, I mean, this is the first time I took a drink since it went down the pipe at the beginning of the show. But Just Do Boxing is nice. I didn't see Remo in the building today, but I appreciate everybody that's in here. My core, solid group of supporters in the building today. I'm loving life right now. Boxing tomorrow, NFL football, miscast off work. I'm having steak tonight for dinner. I am a happy camper, man. Life could not be better. And I got Better Be tomorrow. Callum Beterbiev. Callum says he's going to get Beterbiev out of there. Beterbiev does get hit a lot, but you know, He's 19 for 19 knockouts and fights, and he'll be 20 for 20 after tomorrow. There's Remo, Let's Talk Fashion. Remo, hashtag JBT, Let's Talk Fashion. Hashtag Let's Talk Fashion. That's the new show that was just added to the JBT lineup. It drops on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Hashtag Let's Talk Fashion. It's just a blend of fashion, sports, entertainment, and life. Hashtag Let's Talk Fashion by Remo. All right, check it out. Just dropped his first show, 10 a.m. Wednesday. Next one, 10 a.m. next Wednesday. But yeah, I was talking about the fight tomorrow. Yeah, I got better be. What you say, Al Booker, 8 to 10? Yeah, I got any time after 7. Yeah. Al Booker getting him out of there. And remember, I don't come on Sundays anymore. I'll be back Monday. I'm going to do something different next week, too. I've been looking at former boxers. I think next week is going to be Trainers Week. I'm going to look at some legendary trainers. The guys that trained these boxers, former boxers I've been talking about, I'm going to look at some of the guys that trained them. Because you need a good trainer, you know. Of course, anybody can't get in there and box. You got to have some skills and know what you're doing. But a good trainer is important too, you know. Who knows what he's doing, right? Patience. Can be a good teacher. And very important, when you're in there fighting, you know, in the middle of a fight, you don't see everything. It's good to have a good trainer on the outside with eyes on the action when you go over there between rounds, can see something that you didn't see, right? Or give you some good advice on what to do in there, right? So good training is very important. And next week is going to be Trainer Week. I'm going to look at a different legendary trainer each day next week. What y'all think about that? Okay. No, I didn't hear that, Remo. About AB talking shit to Clarissa. I'm going to drop the link. We got 10 minutes. Oh, shoot. But no, I didn't hear that, Remo. Clarissa will beat her. Clarissa's not going to stop nobody, but she'll beat AB pretty. Now I'm not gonna say easy, because nothing easy about two grown people in there throwing hands at each other's head. I'll say she'll beat her in dominating fashion. I got Clarissa dominating AB. One thing, she's too big, you know. What weight are they gonna fight at? 147? No. 150 catch weight. Can AB make that? Is AB suspension over? Didn't she get suspended, Remo? Suspended for that PED thing? Because hers wasn't atypical like Beterbiev's, you know. Beterbiev's was atypical, so they let him fight. Alicia's, Keyshawn's, theirs weren't atypical. They got suspended, right? But I guess she's back now. You like that, Thomas? Good. Jack Johnson, yeah. I thought about Jack, man. Yeah. I thought about Jack. Yeah. I don't know why he's not on there. To be honest with you. Just couldn't find a spot for him. Yeah. I guess the furthest one back was who? Was it Willie Pep or no? Henry Armstrong. Was Willie Pep? No, I think Henry Armstrong was before Willie Pep, right? Henry Armstrong was what, like the 20s? Pep was like the 40s, around in there, yeah. But yeah, that's a good point, Thomas Morris. Jack Johnson, yeah. How far up would you put him, Thomas? Top 5, 6 to 10? I could have put him in Big George's place. But Big George impressed me with the comeback. That's what if Big George don't make that comeback in the 90s, he's not on there. But they really impressed me. Coming back, winning the title again. Still the oldest to this day, you know? That's what got me. That's what got Big George on there. But that is a very good point, Thomas. Jack Johnson. Okay, Remo says AB, she got a private testing with hair samples and nothing was found. So she didn't get suspended or anything, right? AB did. Okay. Okay. What's that? What did we forget, Thomas? Tampa Thomas? I missed something. What am I trying to put somebody as a moderator? Everybody in my chat is a moderator. Oh, Miss Cass is a moderator. Because everybody's from the Hangout. Hangout people get a Miss Cass is a moderator. What is it? He's in blue. Oh yeah. Once you come in from the Hangout, you automatically get wrench because I am a spinoff from the Hangout. You know how like I explained before. Remember, you have a TV show, and then one of the characters from the TV show get their own show. That's why I'm from the Hangout. I'm a spinoff. I was originally in the Hangout. Now I got my own show. Yeah. But NFL football, boxing this weekend. I will be back Monday. Next week is going to be Trainers Week. We got Just Do Boxing coming up at 4. Jay Hardcore is still on his way around the block. He'll be at 8. No, 9. 9 tonight. Rod's podcast is at 8. So 9 o'clock Hangout, we can go all night if we want to. And I'm going to be there because I'm going to tell my Love Boat story. Remember that, Miss Cass? The Love Boat had us there laying there side by side, staring at the ceiling all night. Yeah. Miss Cass was the one that went and got this stuff, matter of fact. We thought we had some regular marijuana. We had Love Boat. Wrote a big old fat joint. Put us down for the count. From like 10 o'clock in the morning till the next morning. Side by side in bed, staring at the ceiling like two statues, scared to move. We was trying to walk across the street. Them cars was zoom, zoom, zoom. We ran back in the house. Didn't eat, didn't do nothing the rest of the day. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here. Oh, they still didn't clear her, Remo? Okay, yeah. Well, she got to get some clearance before she can get in there against the quote. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we'll see what happens. We got Just Do Boxing next. Don't forget, the Rise podcast and the Hangout has switched times tonight. The Rise podcast will be at 8, and the Friday night Hangout will be at 9. Okay? Let me run it down for you. You know how all the chats always do their rundown of people before the chat. I do mine at the end because there's nobody in here at the beginning. Okay, but anyway, we had Miss Cass in here today, Lonnie Lee, Tampa Thomas Morris, Mike Masick. That's Miss Cash #JBT, by the way. Mike Masick, Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. Y'all need to go check out that prior thing he did on Spoken Joe Frazier today, who would be 80 years old today, by the way. Al Booker was in here today. Remo, #JBT, was in the building today. Okay. Brain lock. Okay. Thomas Hill was in the building. Appreciate you, T. Hill. And J. Cole Hardcore, #JBT, the creator of the JBT, was in here today. And as always, I appreciate everybody that continues to rock with my growing channel. Yes, sports, y'all.